What's going on YouTube? Welcome to Jagan Gaming. So, I was originally not going to do a video on this, but after watching the new extended trailer, I decided to go ahead and make a quick video. So, Star Wars released the Star Wars Resistance trailer, I believe last month, and it's not doing too good. Okay, now I just did a video on Kathleen Kennedy extending her stay at Lucasfilm for 3 more years. And in that video, I mentioned that I'm not happy with where Star Wars is going. I'm not happy at where it's at, and I sure as hell don't like where it's going. And one of the things I mentioned was that Star Wars Resistance doesn't look very good to me. I was not impressed, and just like the Han Solo movie, I was not excited. I'm not excited about this at all. You know, I was excited when they decided to bring back the Clone Wars for the final season. That was exciting. I was excited for Star Wars Rebels. That show actually lasted a lot longer than I expected it to. I thought that show was only going to last 1 or 2 seasons just to close the gap between, you know, episode 3 and episode 4. And it ended up lasting a lot longer, and I loved it. Okay, I have all the seasons on my hard drive. And then Star Wars Resistance gets released, or the trailer. And I looked at it and I just thought, just like with The Last Jedi, I just thought, what in the hell is this? You know, so I guess they're using this anime style of animation, which to me doesn't look very good. Number one, the characters, again, just, you know, the characters for this sequel trilogy just don't stand out to me. I don't have any kind of attraction to them. I don't have any kind of connection. But then again, you know, when I first saw Star Wars when I was a little kid, of course it's going to be a little bit easier for me to, you know, make some kind of connection with those characters. I would, you know, due to the fact that I was a child, but now I'm a grown man. I've got kids now myself. But there's nothing about any of these characters that jump out to me. Okay, the only characters in The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens that I was really happy about were the original characters. You know, Luke Skywalker, Leia, Han, Chewie, R2, C-3PO, and that was pretty much, I think Admiral Akbar was in there. But that was really it. All these new, like, Admiral Holdo, I mean, come on. I can't take someone serious who's got purple hair. Okay, Poe, Dameron, Finn, Rey, sorry. I just, there's no kind of connection, there's no kind of attraction to these characters for me at all. So, looking at Star Wars Resistance, you know, it's, you know, a lot of people have noted that, you know, Disney is marketing this towards kids, but it's on Sunday at 10 o'clock. So, as far as I know, most kids are going to be in bed on a Sunday at 10 o'clock. My kids are in bed at 8. So, unless, like me, if they miss it that night, you know, they, you know, download it off the internet the next day and watch it maybe, but this is just a load of crap. Okay, just like, you know, just like episode 9, I am not excited at all. Now, Star Wars Resistance is supposed to start next Sunday on the 7th, so I would be lying if I said I'm not gonna watch it, I'm not gonna, you know, look at it or anything. That would be a bold-faced lie. Of course, I'm gonna go look at it. Now, on the other hand, a lot of people would probably say, well, that's the problem. You know, the more we watch this stuff, the more crap they're gonna pump out. But again, you know, I see on YouTube a lot of people who say, okay, boycott Star Wars, don't watch the movies, don't watch the shows, don't play the video games. In all reality, this is just my personal opinion, in all reality, a very small percentage of people are going to actually do that. Okay, I'm not happy with where Star Wars is at right now, but when episode 9 comes out, am I going to go see it? Yeah, probably. Now, am I going to go see it on opening night? Hell no, I'm not. I'm not going to stand in line on opening night for episode 9. Okay. If anything, I'm going to wait a day or two, wait for some reviews to come out and see what people say. And if I like the reviews, if I like what I hear, then okay. Now, if everyone tells me, dude, this movie is just as bad as episode 8 or worse, then who knows? Maybe I'll still go see it just so I can see how bad it is. But that's just how I am. Sometimes I do that. I'll go to see a movie, even though everyone says, man, this movie is terrible. Sometimes I'll go see it just so I can see how bad it is. Yeah, I'm kind of weird like that. So, looking on YouTube today, the Clone Wars trailer. Okay, and I believe this is going to be on Netflix, I think, where they're going to put all the episodes of the final season. I believe it's going to be on Netflix, or it's going to be on the Disney streaming thing, and I'm sure as hell not paying for that. I can tell you that much. I'll just download it or whatever. I'm not paying Disney to watch this SJW Star Wars crap. Okay, but the Clone Wars, as of today, and today is the 1st of October, as of today, the new Clone Wars trailer has 279,000 likes and 9,000 dislikes. So let me say that again: 279,000 likes versus 9,000 dislikes, or 9,300 dislikes. Okay. Now, for those of us who watched the Clone Wars when that series first came out, okay, you were either the second generation of Star Wars fans, or like me, the first generation of Star Wars fans. Okay, so now we got a whole new generation of Star Wars fans. These are the people who think The Last Jedi is great. These are the people who think The Force Awakens is awesome. Okay, because these are, for some of these people, a perfect example. Back when I was stationed in New Mexico, before I got out of the Air Force, one of my co-workers' kids, he went to go see Star Wars. And this was the first time he had ever seen Star Wars. He had never seen the prequel trilogy. He had never seen the original trilogy. So The Force Awakens was his first Star Wars movie. So to him, and The Last Jedi, they went to go see that as well. He thinks this is the best thing since sliced bread and Spam. Now, to someone like me who went to go see Star Wars in the theaters back in the 80s, now I didn't see, of course, Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back. I believe I remember going to the theater to watch Return of the Jedi with my parents. Oh, okay. So we're talking 80, 81, 82 time frame when Return of the Jedi came out. I was in elementary school. Okay. And I remember going to the theater to go see it. Okay. So for people like me, who are like me, who grew up watching that original trilogy and who eventually saw the sequel trilogy when that came out, or the prequel trilogy rather, this sequel trilogy is absolute garbage. So, but I digress. So looking at the Resistance trailer, now this is the trailer that was released about last month. As of today, on the 1st of October, it has 13,000 likes. It has 140,000 dislikes. 13,000 likes, 140,000 dislikes. So Disney just released an extended trailer a couple of days ago. And that trailer has over 8,000 likes, but it has almost 10,000 dislikes. So Star Wars is slowly but surely just going down the drain. And I can only imagine what the reviews are going to be like, when this trailer comes, or excuse me, when the pilot episode plays. Something tells me Star Wars Resistance is only going to last one season. if it lasts longer than one season, I would be surprised. And part of me wants to give it a chance because it's Star Wars. It's something hopefully I will be able to share with my kids. You know, I have a daughter who is 7, and I have a son who is 1.5. Well, actually, my daughter is 7.5, and my son is 1.5. But their birthdays are actually a week apart. So hopefully, once my son, he'll be into Star Wars. My daughter, she can kind of watch it, but I'm not expecting her to get into it. She is starting to get into gaming, so I'm really happy about that because, of course, that is something that I can share with her, and hopefully, and looking at my son, something tells me he'll be a gamer as well. But these are, these things are important because these are things from our childhood that we can share with our kids, that we can pass on. It's something. My dad wasn't a gamer. Of course not. He comes from a different, he's on the baby boomer generation, so of course they're not gamers. Of course now I am because I grew up around video games, so that's not something I could share with my dad. Okay, gaming isn't something that my dad and I shared. He was not a gamer. Now, sci-fi was something my dad and I shared. Now, he was more of a Trekkie. He loved Star Trek. Okay, he wasn't really big into Star Wars. Okay, so imagine having a Trekkie and a Star Wars fan in the same house. So, but anyway, so like I said, Star Wars Resistance is going to premiere next Sunday, or this Sunday rather, and my expectations are not high. I'm not excited. And you think back a couple years ago when Star Wars Rebels came out, and I was excited because it was you had Darth Vader, you had Moff Tarkin, the Emperor, you had all those people from the original trilogy in it. And once again, this stems from The Last Jedi. This is the damage that The Last Jedi did to the Star Wars franchise. It's absolute garbage. Nobody cares. The only people who care right now are probably the SJWs and the feminists and the new generation of Star Wars fans. But again, a lot of them are young kids, maybe high school or so, and they don't have that nostalgia factor, I guess, of the original trilogy. Hell, even the sequel trilogy, or the prequel trilogy. And if you really stop and think about it, I watched a YouTube video a long time ago. Unfortunately, I can't remember what it said, and he made a joke laughing that the only at the very least, with the prequel trilogy, what's the worst that we got? Well, we got midichlorians and Jar Jar Binks. Okay. Excuse me. With this one, it's just a shit show of crap. So that's pretty much my thoughts on it. Again, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna watch it. Okay. Like Solo, I'm gonna give it a shot. Now, I didn't go to the theater to go see Solo. I just downloaded it and instantly realized I'm glad I downloaded this versus wasting money to go to the theater. I would have been pissed if I'd gone to the theater and paid money. But I at least was willing to give it a shot. So I'm gonna watch it. And again, just looking at the trailer, some of the complaints are that, okay, I guess the main villains here isn't so much the First Order. There's the bounty hunters, but now they're called pirates. One of the main antagonists is Bosk. And, there were so many other characters you could have used. And Bosk, I guess, I mean... I mean, hell, I mean, if I'd seen Boba Fett in the, you know, in the trailer, I would have at least accepted that halfway. Like, okay, he actually really did survive the Sarlacc. Here he is. Granted, he's probably in his like 60s or 70s now. Or actually, no, I take that back. This is supposed to happen. You know, the Resistance is Star Wars Resistance, I believe, happened 6 years after Return of the Jedi. So yeah, that was completely doable. Now that I stop and think about it, they could have had these pirates, these bounty hunters. These people could have been led by Boba Fett. I think that would have been a welcome addition, actually. Now that I stop and think about it. But instead, no, we're going to go with Bossk. And I don't have a problem with Bossk. It's just that you see Bossk in Empire Strikes Back. You see Bossk in the Clone Wars. I think you see him in Rebels, but don't quote me on that. We see him a lot in Star Wars canon. I just feel that, you know, there were so many other characters you could have used that the fans would have been happy to see. They chose not to go that route. So, it is what it is. Now, the other thing I actually did find interesting, is the ships that they're using. And in the old Star Wars canon or Legends, they had these things called Uglies. And that's what it looked like. I believe that's what they were called. The ships were called Uglies. And that's where you took a hodgepodge of parts and slapped them together to make a ship. So you would have the body of an X-Wing with the wings of a TIE fighter. Okay? They would mix parts. And this is something in the Star Wars Legends that groups of marauders, pirates, bounty hunters would do because it was an extremely cheap and affordable way of building a ship. And they were called Uglies because, you know, they number one, a lot of them looked ugly. But number two, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, they just looked horrible. But like I said, they were, and that's what it looks like. The ships on on the trailer. When you look at the ships, I'm looking at them. I wonder if these are Uglies. And now, for those of you who know what I'm talking about, like I said, it's in the Star Wars Legends. I think if you go to the Wikipedia, you'll see it. You'll see it in there, and you'll see a picture of a TIE fighter, but with Y-wing engines. You'll see an X-wing with TIE fighter wings. You know, you'll see this mix of parts. So I wonder if that's what they did. So, but again, meh, don't care. Do not care. But then again, about a minute ago, I did say I did find it interesting. So I guess that's a little contradictory. Well, anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. Today is my day with my son, so we're going to go out and go do some stuff. And he likes to turn off the computer while I'm on it. He thinks it's fun because he sees the light, and then he'll walk up and just shut it off. And he just did that while I was typing up a paper, so I had to start the paper all over again. So I should probably go ahead and wrap this up before he comes in here and tries to turn the computer off again. So if you agree or disagree with what I said in this video, go ahead, feel free to make a comment down below. And go ahead and hit that like button. I'll see you guys next time.